Welcome into the Word. I'm Jane McManus, joined by Bonnie Ford, and we are talking about the U.S. women's figure skating team just named to the Olympics. Now, with figure skating, it always seems like there's some kind of drama. And this year, Ashley Wagner, who finished fourth at Nationals, was named to the Olympic team over the third place finisher, Mirai Nagasu. This has caused some discussion. Bonnie, you were there. How do you think Nagasu took that piece of information?
I'll start with the last things first, Jane. She came out for her exhibition program at the traditional post-Nationals gala last night at TD Garden in Boston. We were all sort of holding our breath to see if she would come because we knew there was some disagreement on her part with the decision, but she showed up. As she went to center ice, a lot of people in the crowd rose to give her a standing ovation. She was in tears. She skated her program, took her bows. More tears. So safe to say, based on that and on a statement she released through USA Figure Skating saying she was disappointed, that she is not a happy camper.
Well, I think it's interesting here because there is some wiggle room in the rules with U.S. figure skating. They're allowed to consider the year that came before the competition when they're deciding who makes the team. Ashley Wagner has been a strong international competitor, and I think they took that into account. She finished fifth in Worlds this year. Now, I think that whenever you have a subjective decision, however, you're going to have people who agree and who disagree with it. Do you think they made the right call in opting to send Wagner?
I think there were a couple of different directions they could have gone, which were both defensible decisions. And I will say, Jane, that most of us who have been covering figure skating for a long time, who were there, assumed that Ashley Wagner would be on this team. The choice really came down to Nagasu and Paulina Edmonds, the 15-year-old who skated her heart out, obviously made a big impression on the judges, but is 15. And the Olympics will be her first international competition at the senior level. So it's a gamble, but the U.S. Figure skating brass obviously felt that Mirai would be a gamble too, because her results have been very uneven over the last 3 seasons. She came to nationals without a coach, which makes you admire what she did all the more in one sense. But then what happens for the next 3 weeks? Does she sort of start working with someone who she doesn't know very well? Does she go to the Olympics without a coach? I can't prove it, but I think that may have factored into the decision.
Well, it's very interesting. The other thing worth noting is Gracie Gold. She ends up winning the entire event. And I think she has to look pretty glamorous here in this position. She didn't have any trouble doing what she did. She's in the position of strength, really, kind of able to observe what's going on around her without really having to worry about her own place or, her own status on the team.
Her expectations have changed a little bit from when she finished 6th at Worlds last March. Her placement, of course, plus Wagner's, is why the U.S. has 3 women's slots in Sochi. But I certainly called this one wrong. I, as many others did, wondered if Gracie Gold could execute with a brand new short program. She really followed through on that, obviously, and built a lead and then confirmed it in the free skate. And she was saying last March at Worlds that this Olympics, if she made it, would be kind of a learning experience and soak it up. And I think that her ambition has risen a little bit with her performance at Nationals. So we'll see what happens. She's 18. She obviously has a heck of a lot of talent. It's going to be, a matter of how she deals with all of the expectations and the avalanche of attention she's going to get in Sochi and leading up to it.
Well, thanks a lot, Bonnie. Appreciate it. We'll be following you in February in Sochi, and you can keep it here for more on figure skating with the Word.